Hey guys, Dr Kahu here, welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be doing a continuation to the What If Naruto Gained a Karma Seal Part 4. Now as usual guys, if you guys can please like and subscribe, leave your comments down below, leave the bell notification on so you guys can be the first to get my new content, and of course guys, if you want to follow me on Discord towards, I'll leave the link in the description. All you need to do is copy and paste it and add me, and if it's still pending, I'll either add you at night when I record or add you in the morning when I do my editing, okay guys? And on that, I would like to apologise to all of you guys that have been waiting for my videos to come out. Sorry, I've been very busy. I actually, so much I've been doing and been trying to fix my back as well because I kind of injured my back. Old injury, long story, just getting better, you know. What you take for granted when you when you lose things. I wasn't able to walk for a while, so my back was out. So yeah. I apologise, okay, but I'll do my best and I'll get as much videos out as I can this week, okay? Bear in mind, I may be able to get the Dragon Ball Z video out today, okay? So yeah. But without further ado guys, let's get into this next installment of this What If, and that is What If Naruto Gained a Karma Seal, Part 4. So let's begin. So we're going to do a quick recap on what happened previously. Pretty much after the war, Naruto let Kaguya live, and how Boruto gave her some chakra, so she pretty much went to near her true power, not really though. She went to go live on the moon with the other Otsutsukis, and over a period of time, when it came to Naruto the last, what ended up happening is Tsunade led a rebellion against her and everyone that was there, and what ended up going down is Naruto had to go to the moon and fix all the problems, pretty much destroyed Tsunade. And what happens is when Tsunade was at his weakest, this is when Neji appeared and put his hand right through Tsunade's chest, killing him immediately, getting revenge for him hurting him and Hiyashi. And so what happened is Tsunade managed to put make it his own form of Karma Seal on Neji, but merging his chakra with Neji, but he couldn't take control because Naruto pretty much stopped it. And so Neji staying on the moon with Kaguya and becoming her closest confidant, and Naruto staying on Earth, what ended up happening is Itachi took over Root and he became the new Root leader. Bear in mind this is a reanimation Itachi that didn't get removed or didn't get sealed. Naruto offers this to release him from his duties, I guess, but what goes down is Itachi goes no. And not only that, they've been investigating Kara for a while. Now Itachi has figured out who Kara is and all this jazz, and figured out that these guys are really powerful and they make the Akatsuki look like children. All these bio-enhanced people and everything like that. And so what happens is the whole Hidden Leaf knows, well, the whole upper echelon of the Hidden Leaf village and the other villages know exactly who Kara is, and they're slowly but surely ready to make moves against them. And not only that, while Kaguya is on the moon, and this is coming into the Boruto era, while Kaguya is on the moon, she can sense the incoming approach of Momoshiki, Kinshiki, and Urushiki, and she is ready to tell Naruto about what's going to happen. So that's the recap guys, let's get into this next part, okay guys? So let's begin. Now as the world is coming through a state of absolute peace and adjustment, Naruto remembers all the information that Urushiki has gathered upon a tailed beast, who they were, but Urushiki's past is pretty much blocked from Naruto. He can't remember anything beyond coming to Earth. And so what happens is Naruto can only guess what happens. He can see Boruto in Urushiki's vision, everything like that, how powerful that Boruto is. But Naruto's Boruto now, he is really powerful. He's deeply gained Otsutsuki DNA to the point where he has 2 Jogons, you know. And not only that, Himawari is just super broken. Her DNA is so strong. Just Naruto's family in general are really strong. And not only that, Sasuke's family is strong too. Bear in mind having Itachi there, Sarada is going to be even that much more better. But what goes down is as Naruto's been Hokage, going around the village, helping out as best he can, Itachi's investigating Kara, and slowly but surely he's infiltrated his way through lower rank or outer members of Kara, like Deepa and all them. And what happens is he actually confronted by Deepa and the old man that grows the artificial divine tree, or tries to anyway. They attack Itachi, and Itachi at first bears pretty good. He's able to deflect all those dumb metal projectiles and the old man's ability to regenerate. He's able to, well, the fight is quite intense to be honest, up to the point where they actually manage to get through Itachi's defenses and start to obliterate him using Deepa's abilities. Now they believe in doing so that they have killed Itachi, but Itachi regrows himself and he goes, now I understand your abilities. let's see what else we could do. Itachi instantly enters into their mind. Bear in mind, Itachi has 2 perfect Mangekyo Sharingan, so, and he's dead, meaning he has unlimited chakra and an immortal body pretty much. So when Itachi looks deeply into Deepa, he immediately takes over his mind, puts him through a massive Tsukuyomi, and Deepa is trying to get up but he can't fight it. He tries to hurt himself, none of that jazz works. Instead, Itachi places him under a powerful genjutsu and makes him fight the old man. When the old man's ducking and dodging all the attacks and trying to get away, what ends up going down is Itachi, without hesitation, throws Amaterasu right into the old man's path. Bear in mind, Itachi understands if he takes out the lower echelon people, the upper will open that, will at least know that people are coming for them. So what ends up going down is, as the old man gets burnt up alive, the old Kara member, the outer member, what happens, the Deepa finally wakes up and looks at Itachi and he gets so angry that he starts to summon bigger middle storms, I guess, or cubes. But Itachi's already behind him. Itachi placed a powerful genjutsu upon him to make him believe he was there. And without hesitating, Itachi stabs him right through the back. And as Deepa looks at it, what the? He tries to turn around, but Itachi goes, nah, bro. He ends them immediately, takes them both immediately. His Black Up Ombu jumped through and they grabbed him. And not only that, they grabbed the Hashirama cell that they had stolen. Bear in mind, this is all happening earlier, because the events of Naruto, with him being so much more powerful, had moved the world into a state of rush. You know, all the artificial tail beast bomb pills or tail beast pills have been, or chakra pills, whatever you call them, they've been manufactured in this world to the point where they're growing it out of control at all the villages. And not only that, some smaller villages, they're using them to help bolster their own village. And so this presents a big ass problem for Naruto and even Sasuke. But thanks to Itachi, he states that he doesn't get tired. He can go backwards and forth and checking everything out. And so Itachi does. He pretty much plays the Sasuke in this role, going backwards and forth, investigating, searching, doing his best, taking people down, trying to find the true supplier of the tail beast drug, but he can't. Well, the good thing about Itachi's influence is that it doesn't enter into Konoha at all. And so as Itachi is off on his mission to try to bring down, Root, Naruto is back in the village and deciding how the Chunin exams are going to go. Shikamaru explains to Naruto that it'll be best to hold it here and it's best to make all the preliminaries different to how it was when they were younger. Naruto agrees because this is not the first Chunin exams he's taken over, but he understands that things need to change, so he uses certain elements of people's abilities to help confuse the students to have to act right then there on the spot. Bear in mind, Naruto, son Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki are all on the same team. Well, Mitsuki, they're all on the same team. And so, they're really powerful, and also, because Naruto knows Orochimaru and knows him properly, Orochimaru doesn't lie to Naruto upon Mitsuki's abilities. The fact that Mitsuki can use Sage Mode, Naruto goes, that's pretty good, that'll actually work out in this endeavor. And Orochimaru goes, why is that? And he goes, well, Sarada, she has a much more powerful version to the curse mark you gave to Sasuke. And Orochimaru, because they're talking about technology, he's like, what do you mean? Sasuke explains that she was born with a curse mark. But the curse mark's not attached to Orochimaru or anything, it's just her own curse mark. And not only that, she has a natural affinity to activate her Sharingan. And so Orochimaru is quite interested, and he's quite happy to know that his son, Mitsuki, is allowed to use a Sage Mode. And knowing that, Naruto goes, don't even get me started with Boruto. Like his blue Sharingan, well, his pure eye itself, shocks him that he has such a rare dojutsu that's never been seen before. And the fact that luckily Naruto has a flying Raijin mark, because when Boruto teleports, he has to teleport. He can teleport him by using the flying Raijin mark. Bear in mind, Naruto has the Rinnegan, but sometimes the Rinnegan don't teleport him to the right place where Boruto is, so he has to go to him using the flying Raijin. And so Boruto learns a lot, and not only that, his uncle Neji taught Boruto how to use the Gentle Fist, and he's very, very good with the Gentle Fist. Very good. Sorry, I just had a drink, my bad. But what goes down is, as the students are all hanging out, Naruto takes Naruto's team for a test. Boruto's team for a test, but not him, of course. Konohamaru does. he wants to gauge them at their full strength. Konohamaru goes, bear in mind, I will not hold back. The Chunin exams in a week's time. So let me know as your sensei how strong you guys really are. And they already, he summons Inra, the small version to Enma's summoning. And he turns into an adamantine staff. And then Konohamaru opens his eyes and he entered the Sage mode. When Boruto sees this, he's like, whoa, Sensei is not holding back, is he? And Sadada's like, no, he's not. And she's like, alright then. She closes her eyes, activates her Sharingan, and then the curse mark doesn't envelop like it does the Sasuke. Instead, it just gives her the purple eyeliner like Orochimaru has. But it shocks Sasuke to see that Sadada can activate it so easily. And when she does so, she what happens? She readies herself. And now Mitsuki does this. Mitsuki does the same. He looks at Sadada and goes, "All right then." He powers up a dual Sage mode, and his snakes appear, everything like that. And Boruto's like, "Wow, Flash!" Looking at his friends, and Boruto closes his eyes and opens it, and he has the Pure Eye. Now, what happens is, it's kind of underwhelming when they see Boruto's Pure Eye activate. But when the battle begins, Boruto's actually the fastest out of all of them. Despite Sadada and Mitsuki being in Sage mode, Boruto's own natural connection to his chakra and having his dad's power as well, is he is way stronger. Way stronger in the fact that he appears by Konohamaru mastering Frog Kumite, and knows how to fight easily. So he uses Inra, the staff of Inra, not Inra, to push Boruto around, but Boruto can flip, he can dodge, and on that he learns how to use his time-space jutsu, much similar to the Flying Raijin. He teleports behind Konohamaru and kicks him, but Konohamaru is able to catch it. And at that time when their quick interaction has come, Sadada has appeared and has begun her taijutsu. And knowing that Mitsuki is already in the air, chucking his multiple snakes at Sage mode snakes at Konohamaru, but Konohamaru is not weak, not at all. In fact, Konohamaru is able to flex the chakra to push Sadada and Mitsuki off balance, and swing Inra around and extend the stick, the adamantine rod, to the point where it actually gets thicker and grows massively long. And he bumps Boruto away and manages to hit Mitsuki and Sadada, and they get flying, they all land. And then Boruto jumps on the staff and speed blitzes it down it, and this is when Konohamaru shakes the staff and it instantly shrinks back to normal. Boruto's he anticipated it, jumped, and he made two shadow clones. The people behind him will put their hands together and then do a gale palm jutsu and blow him forward. As Boruto speeds right at Konohamaru and he gets right into a gentle fist fight. And what happens is they begin. They instantly go into a clash where Boruto starts to do rotation on him, rotating 64 palm jutsu and all that jazz. And it's doing pretty good. Naruto's actually smiling, looking at Boruto, looking at how much he's achieved, looking at how strong he is. And as Naruto and them watching on, Sasuke's wondering what Sadada's doing, but they also realize, oh, that's what she's doing. Now no one realizes, but Sadada, what's it called, has been infusing chakra this whole time, waving hand signs. And Mitsuki has been putting a seal using the snakes to wrap around the whole entire area. So while Konohamaru is distracted with Boruto, what ends up happening is Boruto senses just briefly because he got his dojo to allow him to see like a Byakugan as well. So he managed to jump away from it. And massive snakes appear around Konohamaru. And as they envelop around Konohamaru easily kicks up Enma, breaks half of them, and sweeps the stick around, destroying the rest of the snakes that had come. And as he looks, he sees Sadada. Now he didn't realize that Sadada was weaving a massive, powerful genjutsu. And at first Konohamaru thought he'll break out of it. He really thought he would break out of this jutsu, but he realizes that no, he's still stuck in it. When he goes to attack them, he's reliving the loop, and it's like, what the? He goes, that jutsu can't be that powerful. She didn't get me, did she? And then Boruto walks over and goes, she didn't get you, and it happened during our fight. Konohamaru is struck to hear that Boruto's just casually talking to him, and he's swiping them away and knocking them down, but they just keep reappearing next to him. And Boruto goes to them, you don't know this, Konohamaru sensei, but you're actually being tied up to a tree right now. They're all giggling at each other, Sadada and Mitsuki. And when Konohamaru finally stops and he focuses and he breaks out of the genjutsu, sure enough, he's tied to a tree. And he's looking at them, they're all laughing, joking about it. And Naruto walks over and he goes, oh, Lord Seven! And Naruto giggles at them. And he goes, come now. It's alright, don't worry. I wish we could have done this to Kakashi Sensei. But I got him back nonetheless. And Naruto looks at Boruto and goes, "You didn't use that jutsu I told you to do." And Boruto goes, no way, that's demeaning. And he goes, "What? What's so demeaning about 1,000 years of death? That's like a punishment jutsu." And when Konohama hears it, he looks right at Naruto and says, "Don't you dare tell my students to do that." And so, as Boruto pretty much and Sarada and Minsky pass Konohama's test, and seeing how strong and in control they are, he readies them for the Chunin exams they're about to begin on this week. And so what goes down is, throughout the week though, they're training. Sarada's training with their dad, doing more shuriken jutsu, and straining her eyes to evolve them, but more practicing and developing herself, and knowing that, utilizing her curse mark abilities, her curse mark sage mode to amplify herself too, so she's pretty good. Minsky himself, he does go back into forth. Naruto gave him a ceiling tag to teleport him back to the hidden sound village where Orochimaru lives. And so what happens is Orochimaru then go backwards and forth, and so that's pretty much where that goes. Minsky gets stronger as well. Boruto himself though, Naruto personally oversees his training. You know, he watches everything when Boruto attacks. Naruto just uses the Karma Seal to absorb his jutsu. And Naruto goes, "Don't just rely on jutsu, focus more on your taijutsu, and knowing that, why don't you use your sage mode?" And Boruto goes, "I didn't feel I needed to." And Naruto goes, "That's really good, that's really humble of you, but you could have had the fight could have been more your way if you use sage mode like you've been practicing." And Boruto goes, "Yeah, but it would have been kind of a pointless fight." Naruto goes, "I understand." And Boruto goes, "But how though, Dad? How can you understand? You're not stronger than your sensei." Naruto laughs and he goes, "You haven't seen my full power, that's why I call Boruto." And Boruto goes, "What's your full power?" And Naruto goes, "How about this? I'll show you tonight my true power, what my power looks like, everything I have, and I want you to go into a sage mode and use everything you got, okay? How's about this? I'll get your team to also do the same, so I can let you know that there is no time or place to use your power at the same time. Doesn't hurt to learn how to utilize your power in a smaller way too." Boruto's looking at Naruto like, "Huh? Alright then." And so what happens is Naruto gets in contact with Sasuke and Orochimaru. Orochimaru reverse summons himself and Minsky to the village gates, and they walk through. Orochimaru gets welcomed in as a regular citizen of the Hidden Leaf due to the fact that he helped in the war arc so prevalently with Hashirama and blah 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 blah. Sasuke, yeah, he appears because he can, because Itachi's doing the job that Sasuke would have been doing. And Naruto and them do. So when the night comes and they all go into the training grounds, Naruto goes, "Alright then." And what happens is Sakura screams at Naruto, "Go easy on them, they're just kids." Naruto goes, "No one went easy on us, especially Kakashi Sensei." And she goes, "Oh, yeah." And then Naruto goes, "Don't you forget Zabuza." And Sasuke looks at them like they all remember. They will remember their first actual proper mission. So what goes down is Naruto goes, "It's not the fact that I won't hold back on you. I want me to show you guys the difference between what actual power is. Because all of you guys have talent. All of you guys have powers that will eventually surpass me and Sasuke and the rest of the village. It's up to you though to figure out how to use that power." And Boruto goes, "Alright then." Boruto puts his hands together and he focuses. He goes into Sage Mode, which shocks Sarada and Minsky. They're already in Sage Mode, but then Boruto goes into Sage Mode. He opens his eyes and they look like the Toad's eyes, but then Boruto activates his both his pure eyes or his Jogo, and when he activates it, what ends up happening is Boruto becomes extremely powerful. Sarada and Minsky recognize Boruto's strength. They're like, "Whoa, he absorbs so much energy, like what the hell?" And Boruto stands there. Naruto goes, "Very good. Now, I want you guys to come up with everything you have." Naruto activates the Karma Seal. It goes up his arm and up across his eye. Naruto goes, "This will be enough." And they go to rush Naruto, all of them using all their attacks and speeds and variables, but Boruto is the only one that really can do anything because he's actually a lot more stronger than Sarada does. But Naruto is still not even trying. Naruto has the Byakugan activated so he can see everything, you know, and this shocks Boruto. And Naruto can see them more, he can react to them all so fast, dodge all Minsky's snakes, react to all Sarada's shurikens, chucking them all back at her, and able to speed blitz Boruto's Jidori, his Boruto stream. So Naruto is just toying with them, showing them where their level is, and then what happens, in a blink of an eye Naruto appears, He slaps the air right next to Boruto, missing Boruto's face, but Boruto gets hit by a frog kumite backhand, sends him flying. Naruto drops by Sarada and taps her on the head. And what happens, the same thing, the frog kumite tap hits her, sends her flying. Mitsuki tries his best to try to attack Naruto with everything he got, but Naruto appears and taps Mitsuki on the side of the shoulder, but with a little more pressure, and he gets hit by Naruto's frog kumite, sending him flying too. All three of them fall into different directions, and they get up and Naruto goes, I'm not gonna lie, you children would have been given us such a hard time if you were in my time. You three are so much more powerful than you guys realize, and I'm proud of that. Now this is what you can achieve if you continue your hard work and push yourself even further. Naruto activates his KCM2, 6-pass Sage mode, and then when Naruto's chakra explodes, Naruto's eyes turn into Rinnegan, and this shocks Boruto, well these are Tomo Rinnegan. And then Naruto activates the full Nine Tails avatar, and it explodes. And activating it, everyone in the village sees it, and then Naruto on his full leg stands up. And when it stands up, as Kurama instantly explodes, activating the Susanoo around him. Naruto goes, you think this is my full power, but this is not. And Naruto puts his hands together. Naruto goes, and then as Naruto does what ends up happening is Susanoo Kurama takes a seat pretty much, and he ends up sitting on top of the 1,000-head Senju, bloody big Buddha 1,000 slapping hand jutsu, that massive thing, okay, and monstrosity. Kurama sitting on top of it, and when Naruto and them all see it, Boruto and them all see it, they're like, what the hell? And then Naruto goes, now this is how you do it. Naruto places his hand, and the Karma Seal envelops around the entire Buddha statue, and then the Nine Tails chakra explodes around it with the Susanoo as well. And Boruto and them were just shocked to see how powerful Naruto is. And then Sasuke goes, that's just only one of his many techniques. One thing I can say, Boruto, is your father is definitely holding back. Naruto goes, I can destroy any nation with this jutsu. Any nation. Naruto, he flicks his hands, he does a flick. What ends up happening is all the thousands of hands open up, and they summon massive Risen Biju bombs. Naruto and Boruto and the Machine, they're scared. Naruto goes, you can't achieve this power, of course, because this has external aspects. However, you three have the power to surpass this form. Do you understand? As a team, you guys can surpass this sooner than later. But right now, you guys need to utilize your guys' proper strengths. And not only that, not rely on ninjutsu. Focus more on your taijutsu, close range combat. Because there's some people, like me, that can absorb your chakra. Alright? They all look at Naruto. Boruto is shocked at how much power his dad has. Naruto instantly desummons the massive Susanoo Nine Tails avatar, 100 hands or 1,000 hands slapping Buddha jutsu. And he deactivates immediately. Naruto lands right by them. When Boruto looks at Naruto, Naruto has his Rinnegan activated. He has a horn growing out of his head, which shocks Boruto. And the Karma Seal that was around him has disappeared. Naruto stands and goes, but yes, this is what my true power looks like, Boruto. Boruto with his Jogan in Sage mode, he is baffled to see how massive Naruto's chakra is. And then Sarada goes, that's how my dad lost to you. Naruto looks at Sarada and goes, He goes, yeah, I heard about the battle you and my father had at the valley at the end. Naruto goes, oh yeah, you heard about that. Oh yeah. But Sarada goes, wow. And that's why I want to become Hokage. Naruto looks at Sarada and says, what? And Boruto turns to him and goes, I don't want to become Hokage, stop that. I'd rather be like Uncle Sasuke, go backwards and forth in the village doing everything like that. Even Uncle Itachi sounds really cool, how he's doing things. And Sarada goes, yeah, but Lord Seventh and so, he goes, please. If my dad says we can achieve that power soon, then he must be not that powerful. Sasuke laughs immediately, and Boruto goes, Uncle Sasuke? And he goes, Boruto, your father just showed you an aspect of what his power is. To be honest, your father's just human, you three. Boruto says, huh? No, it's like, Sasuke, enough. And Sasuke smiles and he goes, these kids need to know. As powerful as you three are, I'll kill you guys immediately. And you guys think you can take on Lord Seventh? No, this was just a lesson. Don't underestimate power. Don't underestimate skill. You three are powerful, but that power can get into your heads and make you think you're more powerful than you are. Humbleness is the key here. Naruto's teaching you that. Do you understand? All three of them look at Naruto. I look at Sasuke, and Orochimaru walks out and goes, yes, out of everyone, Naruto is the most powerful person on the planet, after all. I know from experience. So does Sasuke. It's the humbleness that keeps one like your Naruto at a position where it may seem like you can't get, but it's not impossible. Natsuki takes Orochimaru's words straight away at the heart. Sada does too, but Boruto is just dumbfounded at that. Like, he kind of feels disrespected that Naruto kind of stated this was a full power. And so Boruto looks at Naruto and goes, then what was this display for then? To show how minuscule and little we are? And Naruto goes, no. You decided not to use your power to fight Konohamaru, your sensei, even though he stated he was going to go full power. Never underestimate a person, Boruto. Never. That was the lesson. I tried to teach you guys that nicely. Minsky and Sada got it, but it seems you're not getting it. And Boruto goes, he just looks down and irritated and goes, Uncle Ninja was right. And Naruto goes, what? What's right? He goes, despite you being how powerful as you are, you're an idiot. Naruto goes, well, and then Sakura goes, I agree with that. Your father hasn't changed one bit. And Naruto's like, shut up, Sakura. And so they kind of giggle, and Naruto just walks over to Boruto. He powers down, and he looks at Boruto, and he tells him it's not his intention to make him feel useless or weak or anything like that. But it's to teach him the difference between doing what you need to and being humble. There's a time and a place for everything, okay? Boruto looks at Naruto, and he goes, alright then. Boruto walks away, and as Naruto stands up, Sasuke goes, you're too soft on these kids. I would have just sewn my Susanoo and just stomped on them. And Naruto goes, that's mean. And Orochimaru goes, yeah, I would have summoned multiple snakes just to ensnare them and place them on the powerful genjutsu and paralyze them. And Naruto's like, come on! That's not teaching the kids, that's just building fear in them. And then they both look at each other and he goes, yep, Naruto's too soft. Sakura's like, the hell are you guys gonna do that to my daughter? She clenches their fingers, they clenches their knuckles, like, I'll crush you both. Sasuke's like, whew. Alright. So as they're all talking, as all Team 7 and Orochimaru's there, what ends up going down is one of Taneri's puppets lands right by Naruto. Naruto looks at him and goes, oh, Kaguya's messenger. How may I help you? And what ends up happening is it does a gesture where it puts his hands up his head and does a circle all the way to its core. In doing so, what ends up happening is a projection of chakra envelops, and then what happens is Kaguya's like an aspect form of Kaguya appears, and she goes, Naruto, Sasuke, I need to talk to you guys quickly. The Celestials that I've been trying to protect this world from has arrived, and not only that, I fear that I did truly fail at killing my old adversary thousands of years ago. And Naruto's like, Sasuke, take a pause, and she goes, if you don't mind, I'd like to speak to you guys in person. Naruto goes, alright then. Naruto walks over, Sasuke's already ready. Orochimaru is actually interested, he wants to see the moon as well. And Naruto goes, fair enough, alright. You three, go back with Sakura, okay? And Sakura's like, what? And Naruto, yeah, Sakura, tell Hinata that won't be long, okay? Let's go to the moon. And Sakura's like, alright. What happens is Naruto uses his Renegons to open the portal. Sasuke, Orochimaru and Naruto jump right through with the puppet, and when they appear at the palace inside the moon, one ends up happening is Neji's there to greet them and say, Naruto. And Naruto's like, hey, Neji! Naruto, he did the punch Neji, but he pushes Neji's chin with his fist. He goes, what are you teaching Boruto? And Neji smiles. He goes, I'm just teaching him how to become a Hyuga. That's all. And Naruto's like, here's a Uzumaki first. And Neji goes, well, I will not stop it anyway. Naruto smiles. That's what makes you a good uncle. So where is she? Kaguya floats down and goes, say Naruto, Sasuke. Sasuke's like, Kaguya. Well, I say, Lady Kaguya. And she explains everything. Momoshiki, Kinshiki, and Urashiki are about to arrive very soon. She takes Naruto out on the surface of the moon to show that where the cracks in the dimension is coming through. Naruto can see this. Sasuke has a Rinnegan, he can see it too. And so what happens is Kaguya goes, I can only do so much right now. I'm not as powerful as I should be or can be right now. Naruto goes, have you put a seal up on the moon? She goes, yes, I sealed the moon. So even if they do appear, they can't come through here. The only way they can come through here, besides your Rinnegan, is through the tunnel of the worlds. or they destroy the moon entirely and then break in. Naruto goes, alright. And so what happens, Naruto goes, I'll convene with the other Kage, and we'll speak about it, and we'll try and make plans to deal with the situation that arises at Kaguya. And she goes, alright Naruto. Naruto goes, thank you for this, by the way, I appreciate that you did this. And she goes, no, thank you Naruto for giving me a second chance. I get to look at the world, the beautiful world my son has created. I get to watch my descendants, because technically you two are my descendants, roam free. I've never had grandchildren before, but it's like looking at my grandchildren. I should own Ninja. Naruto smiles, and she just says, words of the wise. When it comes to dealing with these two, or Momoshiki himself, he has tricks that he likes to use. So don't hesitate to fight him at your full power, right? Okay, Naruto? Naruto goes, alright. Naruto goes, let me know immediately the moment they get here. Naruto pulls out a special sealing scroll, and he chucks it. He goes, a clone will be summoned here immediately of mine. If you need me, right, Neji? Don't hesitate. Naruto and Sasuke say goodbye to Kaguya, and Orochimaru is just interested. He can't believe that he's on the moon. He loves it, and he's meeting the progenitor of chakra. It's like all this information, all this everything is just so. And he licks his lips. Great. And Naruto's like, yo, weirdo. And they jump through back to the portal, back to Earth. What ends up happening is Orochimaru goes back to Hidden Sound Village. He gets his people ready just in case, you know. Not to fight the Himle, but to protect the world. Naruto sends a message to all of the five Kages. Well, he's a Kage as well, but all the other 4 Kages to be exact, and explains exactly what's going down and who's coming. They all speak about are they going to do their Chunin exams the next day, but Naruto goes, yes, we'll still continue with the Chunin exams as per normal, but those with tail beasts that in your care, Jinchurikis and all that, please take care of them, okay, because they'll be targeting massive chakra. And if the tail beasts that are out, that are without a Jinchuriki, I want the villagers to place seals around them so they can't be found. And what happens is Gaara's the first one to go to Shikaku and tells him everything. But then Naruto's already spoken to Shikaku and all the tail beasts that are not with Jinchurikis or with Jinchurikis. He spoke to all of them and told them that you need to be wary. With the Jinchurikis, they have tail beasts. The 8 tetragram seal will protect you and will hide your chakra. And he looks at them and he goes, well, all the ones that are outside, go to the nearest main village area, and then they'll place a seal upon you to help protect you as well. Alright? All the tail beasts listen to Naruto. All the villagers around the world prepare for this upcoming invasion. And not only that, more word about Kara has been going around. Now, Ao defected from the Hidden Mist a while back, to be honest, and he joined Kara a long time ago. And so what goes down is the Mizukage explains that, well, for a while, Ao has been gone and they've been looking for her, and they believe that Ao is part of that Kara organization. And so Itachi follows up that lead. He follows up so much leads where he's gone from the village months at a time. He's just so active, so good for the village. And so as Itachi goes on, he finds Ao, and he finds, but he stays back and just watches from afar. He watches how Kara is, and he sees Ao talking to a man having a smoke. A man with glasses with white hair, and Itachi just looking, but he's so far away he can't be found. And as he looks, he makes sure he keeps the description. He sees a person that has a mask on. He's breaking down all the members that he sees. They go into where Ao is, but then this is when Itachi realizes they're not actually there. They're just projections. And he goes, we're dealing with sophisticated groups. And he goes, And so he eventually relays the information by the crow back to Hidden Leaf, and he continues on his journey. So as the villagers prepare, the Chunin exams begin. And of course the first part of the Chunin exam comes ahead. Now Boruto, Naruto's watches on. He doesn't give them all, like, you know, well, he doesn't look into them too much, but he knows that Team 7 will do very well. And so what goes down is when it comes to the first test, the moment the ground disappears and they see the ink puddle, Minsky is about to stretch his arms out, but Boruto has already waved hand signs before they fall, and as Minsky is about to, Boruto does a massive wind style gale palm jutsu, blows them up, He catches Sarada and Minsky and he flies up, and then Boruto releases a seal that he just briefly had, and he flies up and holds onto them flying. Sarada and Minsky are looking at him like, how are you flying? And Boruto states, it's a wind style jutsu, the dancing dragon jutsu. And they're like, what? How did you? And Boruto goes, don't worry, I'll tell you guys next time, okay? And so as Boruto's flying with his team, all the village shinobi are looking at him like, what the? He's flying, but the Tsuchikage, well not the old Tsuchikage anyway, the old Inoki realizes what jutsu Boruto is using. He's using a wind style jutsu, the same jutsu he uses to fly. And so as Boruto and them land, everyone kind of runs up to him. Chocho, Inojin, and what's it called, Shikidai. They go, that's kind of cheating, don't you think? Boruto's like, what? And he goes, you used shadow paralysis jutsu to freeze everyone on the walls, didn't you? And he goes, well, yeah. And he goes, you didn't see anyone else do that, right? And he goes, fair enough. Boruto, they all laugh at because they just crack up and just, no one thought about just simply flying. And so what happens is everyone knows the gun for Team 7. Boruto doing what he did, everyone knows the gun for him. So when they eventually doing the capture the flag test, Boruto is the one to protect the flag. Even though he'll be a very powerful offensive person, he knows he'll be better for the flag to keep the flag. What happens is, because of how much chakra Boruto actually has, and the fact that he is slightly a prodigy, he makes 10 shadow clones, and they guard the area. Now bear in mind, these 10 shadow clones are very, very good, very number one in a sense. And when it comes to the hidden mists shinobi rushing to attack, they don't see the clones straight away. It's not till the clones jump up, and Boruto smiles and goes, you were saying? They shock the Boruto's clones, and as they go to fight, Boruto just stands on top of the flag until he feels a gushing wind behind him. He turns around and kicks the hidden sand shinobi that used the frontal attack as a decoy. He kicks them away, but they chuck a kunai right at Boruto, and so he has to jump off. So he jumps off the flag, he flips up in the air, and flies up using the wind style jutsu. And as he flies up, the hidden mist shinobi tries to take the flag. What happens is he at first does the hidden mist jutsu, which covers the area, and Boruto lands and goes, hidden mist jutsu. Okay, that's interesting. Boruto closes his eyes. He activates his Jogon. They're pretty much like, well, Byakugan anyway. He looks around, he sees them, immediately comes in, he goes, this is when I can use this. He goes in and he starts doing his what's it called, his Hyuga fighting style, his Gentle-Fist. He begins to do that, he starts to take them all out, left, right, and center. And then when the last two are standing there, Boruto immediately does a massive wind style breakthrough jutsu, and massive wind style destroys the mist. And what happens is Boruto hears from Sarada that they have got the flag, because they use a powerful genjutsu to hide her. And Boruto is fighting, Minsky is fighting another shinobi that's in the way. But Boruto is standing there, he goes, cool, I've got 2 more opponents to deal with, don't worry, take your time. They smile, and what happens is Boruto goes, do you really want to go now? They both look at each other and they rush into Boruto. Boruto smiles, he jumps off slightly off the ground. He's just about let's just say if you're American, an inch off the ground, but if you're in New Zealand or you do the metric system, 2.5 centimeters off the ground, he's floating. And instant disappears. And he appears, he kicks one in the face and uppercuts the other one in the air, sending them both flying. And as they hit the ground, Boruto does a water style, massive water surge jutsu to fill the area. So when they land on a massive gushing, raging water torrent, I guess. And he pushes them off the building, but he wraps them up. He keeps them going. He keeps them okay. But we're taking them all out. Boruto grab the flag and they laugh. Team 7 pushes on. Now, when this is when Shinken, he doesn't really like Boruto. In fact, he has a disdain for Boruto. To be honest, it kind of annoys him that Boruto is so out there, acting stupid, acting super foolish. But yeah. And so when it comes to the third and final part of the Chunin exams, when it comes to the fighting in the arena, what goes down is Boruto is, of course, he still stays there. He fights the hidden cloud shinobi that does the bubbles. Now when Sarada takes out the shinobi, takes out her shinobi person she fights, and Minsky takes out his one as well. What goes down is the hidden cloud as well, but When Boruto fights the hidden cloud dude that does the bubbles, that's when Boruto realizes, okay, what should I do? He thinks about using Shuriken Jutsu, but he said, nah. Instead, he'll try his best to go around and he makes shadow clones, and they can dodge all the attacks, but one of them pops one balloon, then many blow up, destroying their clones. And then Boruto has to think, he's like, And Boruto smiles and goes, alright then. He closes his eyes, activates his Jogon, jumps right at them, and at the last moment before he hits the bubble, he uses his own time-space ninjutsu and appears right behind the hidden cloud shinobi and kicks his head straight into one of the bubbles and blows up on his face, hits the ground. He hits the ground. Goes, huh? And then Boruto's already in the air. He has Rasengan over him, and then about to slam it, but Boruto deactivates the Rasengan over his head, and then punches him right in the face. Boruto goes, nice battle. Now as this is going down, the latest invention in Konoha, the one that can project jutsu and absorb chakra and blah 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 and all those jutsu, has come out. And at first Naruto doesn't want to endorse it, but he goes, you know what, ninja tools were a thing. We used ninja tools back when we were younger, well, not to cheat of course, but it may not be an impossibility. So Naruto allowed for them to at least demonstrate and display the awesome abilities of this new ninja tools. And this could possibly help villagers that don't use ninjutsu, you know? And so what goes down is he allows for him to do so, and so he does. He presents his ninja tool weapons out, and all the villagers love it. They actually think it's pretty cool. At first they didn't, but they see the benefits of it, you know? How to teach rookie shinobis how to at least make a Rasengan, make fire style, blah blah blah, all the jutsus, you know? And so as he makes a presentation, he leaves. What goes down when it comes to the semi-final. Now, what's it called? Sarada faces off against the puppet shinobi. Boruto himself, he doesn't face off against no one yet, but Minsky faces off against Shinken. And this is an interesting fight, because Orochimaru's there and he sits down, and Orochimaru looks at Naruto, Naruto gives him a thumbs up, and Orochimaru smiles, he looks right at Minsky. Minsky understands the look from Orochimaru, and tells Shinken that he hopes to fight him at full power. He hopes to challenge him fully. So don't hold back. And Shinken, he's like, the arrogance of your village. All right then. He immediately begins to attack and uses his massive giant fist to attack Minsky. Minsky uses his snake jutsu to push him away, jump around, and everything. And he uses his taijutsu and his lightning styles to just attack from distances, just to gauge him. But he can deflect all the attacks and see what happens, and Minsky rolls over and he goes, alright then, how about this then? Minsky instantly powers him to Sage Mode. When everyone sees Minsky's Sage Mode, they're like, what the? And this is Shikidai goes, Sage Energy. Huh, how interesting. And so what happens is, when Minsky's fighting him, it's already over. The moment it comes in, he instantly speed blitzes, he punches one of the massive fists that comes in, destroying it, jumps right at Shinken, punches him. Shinken manages to do a barrier, but Minsky punches right through that, and kicks Shinken in the gut, sends him flying. He craters into the wall, but he reacts straight away, flips up, jumps in the air, and he makes his giant metal wings. The guy's his iron dust metal wings, and Minsky sees this, and then makes it rain massive amounts of iron daggers, I guess. And Minsky's able to dodge all of them, jumping around, chucking Sage Mode lightning jutsu at them, breaking lots of them, jumping on the iron spikes themselves because he's that fast, to the point where he speed blitz Shinken and he appears right next to him. He has his hand full of lightning jutsu, and as he goes to throw the punch, Shinken puts up iron dust around his face. Oh, sorry, too late. What's his name? Minsky's already smashed right through it, hit him in the face, stunning his body, sending him flying, hitting the ground. And as Minsky lands on the ground, he instantly does a snake jutsu and wraps him up and pretty much ends him. Well, it doesn't end him, but he wins the fight. When Gaara sees this, he's like, wow. Everyone claps, let's buzz out. But then that's to be expected of Orochimaru's son. Orochimaru stands up smiling. He's like, well done. Naruto's like, this is really interesting. Now, when it comes to Sarada's fight, the majority of the fight happens near similar, where he actually takes Sarada off guard. What ends up happening is Sarada sees where he's on top, sees the chakra threads, but instead of just taking him out immediately, what Sarada does is she activates her Sharingan. Well, she has Sharingan activated, but she activates her Sage Mode, When Orochimaru sees this, he's really impressed how far she has gone with her Sage Mode abilities. And she speed blitzes all the attacks, and she instantly destroys the puppet immediately, breaks the puppet's body apart, everything like that. And knowing that, she jumps up and she does a massive Sage Art Fire Style Majestic Fire Style Majestic Flame Destroyer. Wow, it's Sage Art Fire Style Majestic Destroyer Flames. Sorry, mixed up, drinking a cup of tea, my mind's spinning around. Sorry guys. And as it does so, it hits the ground, wiping out everything that's there, destroying the puppet immediately. And when she does that and the puppet's burning and falling apart, right away Sada does a lightning storm, and she leans her hand back and shoots it straight in the air with just 2 fingers up, destroying the area where the Puppeteer Master is, and he falls down from the shock. He hits the ground. Conqueror hits his head and he goes, boy. And so he loses. Sadada's already there, like, bro, I'm gonna kill you with a punch, but he surrenders. And so what goes down is I must not state the finalist, because I don't know, I think Boruto did fight that boy last, the one with the, what's it called? Oh no, it's Shikidai. That's who Boruto fights last. My bad, I got it mixed up. And when it comes to their fight, it's so dramatically different in canon. Shikidai has to learn how to fight Boruto even if he doesn't touch the ground. He has to make sure he catches Boruto inside the bubble and prevent all the shadow clones. And Boruto knows that he has to block all the shadow abilities, make sure that none of them happen. And so the moment they begin, Boruto immediately chucks a flashbang bomb right in front of Shikidai. And Shikidai's like blind him. Boruto immediately appears right next to him and begins to attack, and it's quite an interesting battle until the point where Shikidai has to jump back and use multiple ensnared shadow juices where they grows out like octopus tentacles out of the ground, shadows, and then they grab shurikens or kunais and chuck them all at Boruto's area. And Boruto's ducking and dodging them. Shikidai is sitting there focusing. And Shikamaru is quite impressed with the sun. And then he lands, Boruto instantly speed blitzes him, rushes into Shikidai. And when Shikidai is about to do his shadow expanse jutsu, Boruto instantly does a massive rotation, but jumps and does a big ass rotation around him. But what happened is he also chucked a flashbang on the ground, so it made a real bright area where Boruto is, so there was no shadow. And Shikidai closes his eyes, there, damn, his expanse ability didn't help him. Boruto's rotation in the air manages to catch Shikidai off guard to the point where he stops, punches Shikidai in the face, sends him flying. Shikidai manages to recover and does a massive shadow paralysis jutsu. And as Boruto lands, he gets caught by it. And then Shikidai smiles and goes, "It's over, Boruto. I've got you." He pulls a kunai out, forces Boruto to pull a kunai out, and he puts a kunai to his throat to signify to Boruto to do the same. But as it gets close, Boruto's like, he closes his eyes. He realizes that he can't let this go down this way. For Boruto, he kind of underestimates Shikidai. So, like his friends, he needed to do so too. So Boruto stops himself. He goes to Sage Mode. He opens his eyes and he has frog Kumito eyes, or the frog Sage Mode. Orochimaru sees and goes, Mount Miyaboku Sage Mode. Very, very powerful. Let's see how this boy goes. Boruto stops it and he breaks the shadow paralysis that Shikidai has. Shikamaru's like, it's over. Boruto immediately appears and does a lightning style jutsu on his hands, and he punches Shikidai right in the gut. But Shikidai was able to jump and hide through his shadow and appear behind Boruto. And so when Shikidai was about to make Boruto submit, Boruto spins around and he activates his his Jogon with his Sage Mode, and Boruto spins around and he gets into the 8 trigames stance, and he instantly starts to do rotation, catching Shikidai off guard, and he instantly spins him out, doing 64 palms on Shikidai, holding him in place. And then as Boruto finishes and landing all the palms on Shikidai, Shikidai collapses just due to the massive strain of the fact that Boruto stopped so much chakra points. And these are Sage Art ones too, so Shikidai is feeling extra pain. And when Boruto stops, Shikidai falls, and the proctor deems Boruto to be winner. Everyone claps, and Shikamaru is actually quite impressed with both Shikidai and Boruto. And after Boruto finishes, he grabs Shikidai and goes, "You're right." But Boruto started using his own abilities to try and release all the chakra points that he sealed up. But what ends up going down is Naruto appears and puts chakra into Shikidai to break all the chakra points locked up. And Shikidai wakes up and goes, "Damn!" And here's me thinking, "I got you." Boruto goes, "I saw you," and goes, "Yeah, but your abilities has a blind spot like my dad stated." And Boruto goes, "Yeah, that's right. there was a part where I didn't see you at that moment, but luckily I was in Sage mode. Hey! As Shikidai smiles and goes, almost had you, Boruto. Boruto goes, fair enough. They both shake hands like good friends and they crack up laughing. And what goes down is the finalists are Boruto, Sarada, and Minsky. And so when all of them sit there, Sasuke appears, so does Sakura. Sasuke stands by Sakura. And Sakura's like, this is going to be an interesting battle. And she goes, yeah, and he goes, yes. The powers of the sages. All three of them have individual sage abilities. Wonder how this is going to go. Sakura looks right up at Naruto. And then looks at Orochimaru. Orochimaru is actually talking to Jiraiya and Tsunade. They're actually laughing about this. Jiraiya goes, I don't know, Orochimaru. I think my grandson over there, Boruto, he's got it. And Orochimaru goes, you would do that, eh? You favoritized him, that's why. You favoritized that yellow hair. Jiraiya's like, come on! What's wrong with that? And he goes, well, your hair's white, it's been white all your life. Jiraiya's like, true. Tsunade kind of cracks up with both of their banter. But they're all happy, the Sunny are happy. And as they watch on, Naruto's looking down. And he looks at Boruto and gives Boruto the eye. Don't hold back. Don't underestimate your team. Focus. And so as Team 7 line up against each other, all three of them smile. What happens is Minsky, without hesitating, activates Sage Mode and states, you guys are all my best friends, but I'm going to win this. Sarada he closes his eyes, activates her 2 Tomo Sharingan and her Sage Mode, and she goes, I'm going to win this. Boruto goes, well, I just look forward to seeing how far we can go as a team. I'm looking forward to seeing our potential. My father was right. Alright, Boruto passively went into Sage Mode, just looking at them. It's not about what power we have, it's what we do with it. And when they see Boruto passively go into Sage Mode without even trying, and then this Jogon activates it, this is when they realize that Boruto has been holding back this whole time. He hasn't used any of his true power yet, at all. And this makes them want to know. And so with a brief nod, Sarada and Minsky instantly disappear and they appear right by Boruto. And they go to throw their attacks. Sarada has a kunai, and Minsky has hand with the lightning chakra. When Boruto sees this, he instantly puts chakra on his hands that goes towards Minsky and pushes it up, stopping the lightning chakra from even surging into him and deflecting it. And he catches Sarada's hand with the kunai. He catches and then he grabs Minsky and grabs Sarada and throws him away. And then Boruto, without hesitating, instantly touches the ground. And touching the ground, Boruto hovers off the ground briefly. And then instantly does a teleportation jutsu, much similar to Shisui, where he does a body flicker technique that's so fast they're hard after images. But these after images are fighting both Sarada and Minsky. And as they're going down, everyone's like, whoa! Naruto's like, I didn't teach him that. And Sasuke goes, I did. Sasuke pretty much tells Naruto, I did. And it's like, that's pretty cool. Like, he's looking at Boruto's like, wow, he'll really give his grandfather a run for his money, I will tell you that. And as Boruto's jumping back and forth, fighting both Sarada and Minsky, like they're taking it back. And Boruto's full focus, his full strength is on fighting both of them. So it's Sage Mode Boruto versus Minsky and Sarada. And so what goes down is Minsky and Boruto are fighting, but Minsky's not used to this type of fighting from Boruto. He's only used to Boruto passively using the Gentle Fist and passively using his Rasengan. Not full ball 100% Sage Mode, all these techniques he's never seen before. Boruto's just giving it to him to the point where Boruto managed to kick Minsky in the head and then slam and then turn his foot, throwing Minsky to the ground. Boruto jumps in the air and instantly with his hand signs and does a massive water surge jutsu, does a big ass water style filling the arena. When everyone sees this, Boruto lands on the water like a feather. Instantly disappears, making multiple copies, but doing it so fast that not even Sarada can receive them. Now there's at least 6 of them, 3 fighting her and 3 fighting Minsky, and these guys are in Sage Mode and have their own adaptive abilities, but Boruto is just too fast for them, and their strength matches their own, if not stronger. Even though Sarada has Sakura's strength, Boruto's Sage Mode, and she has Sage Mode, Boruto's way more stronger. Bear in mind he has some of Naruto's Otsutsuki DNA from Momoshiki within his body, and on that he's just much way rounded, stronger, okay, and he's more humble. And so when he's starting to put out more of his power, this takes Sarada off guard. Like this really takes Sarada off guard until the point where she makes a mistake, and like she tried to place the same genjutsu on Boruto like she did on Konohamaru, but it doesn't work because Boruto does time spaces out of the area and it appears right behind her, and he manages to do a massive air pump pushing her into Mitsuki, but he does it simultaneously. One of them did that to Mitsuki as well, and they both flying into each other, and they both managed to stop each other and land. But this is what Boruto won. All 6 of them are around them, and they do the what's it called, the 6-ray light formation, and seals them both into place. And the real Boruto is in the air. When Saturday and Mitsuki sees this, Boruto waves a massive hand sign, and he goes, "Do you guys surrender now?" And they both break out of the jutsu just until Boruto lands on the ground, places a massive lightning surge in the water, shocking both Saturday and Mitsuki. But Mitsuki is able to just get off the water, and Saturday actually gets caught by it, and she collapses. Boruto releases the water jutsu, dispersing it, and Saturday hits the ground. Sasuke and them are shocked. They're like, "Whoa!" And when Mitsuki sees this, he instantly does his inorganic transformation and saves my one, and rushes to go attack Boruto. And as it hits Boruto, what ends up happening was just a shadow clone. Mitsuki's like, "What the?" Boruto appears out of nowhere, and Mitsuki's like, "What the?" And as he's about to try to react, Boruto has a Rasengan immediately, smashes into Mitsuki's stomach, rotating it and then expanding it and pushing Mitsuki so hard that it hits the wall, creating himself. He gets knocked out by the attack. The attack was overwhelmed him completely. He hits the ground, and both Saturday and Mitsuki are out. Boruto walks over to them, and only Sasuke and Naruto noticed that Boruto didn't actually try. Oh, he kind of tried, but not as much as they thought he would have. And then Naruto goes, "How strong are you really, my son?" And so what goes down is Naruto smiles. He lands by them all. Sasuke also lands by Sarada, and Orochimaru goes by his son as well. Everyone like they can't believe how awesome the fight was. They're like, "What the hell?" All the Kaguya's were looking at each other like, "We got a lot to do." We got a lot to do. And so what happens is, and Orochimaru is a big part of helping all those villages, by the way, a real big part. And so as Boruto has been made a Chunin, Saturday and Mitsuki also made a Chunin, because they one are so young that they have mastered Sage Mode, and 2 they demonstrated such high level skills that are worthy for joining. And so Team 7 gets promoted to rank of Chunin. Orochimaru smiles and he goes, he's just happy that Mitsuki is allowed to be himself, and know that thanks to Naruto and the other villagers, Orochimaru is able to do his research to help his son properly. And so as Mitsuki and everyone is inside the recovery and everyone gets up, Naruto smiles. Bear in mind, Momoshiki has not attacked Killer Bee. Momoshiki has not. They have not found any of the tail beasts, and this kind of irritates him to the point where he actually consumes Urushiki. Because Urushiki is the one that told them, "Oh, this tail beast, that blah blah blah." Even where Kaguya is, well, he thought Kaguya was on Earth. And so what happens is Momoshiki, without hesitating, turns Urushiki into a chakra fruit and eats him. In doing so, it just turns his Rinnegan, but all 3 of his Rinnegan yellow. Actually, just 2 of his Rinnegans, both of them on his hands yellow. And when it does so, he looks around and he realizes, well, he knows where Naruto is, because Naruto doesn't try to hide his chakra. And so as Naruto congratulates Boruto and his team, what ends up happening is straight away Momoshiki appears right by Boruto and Naruto and tries to throw a kick. But what happens is Naruto instantly ducks from the attack, grabs Boruto, jumps out, lands by him, and what goes down is Naruto stands there and goes and looks right at them, and through Urushiki's memories, this is Momoshiki and Kinshiki. But this Momoshiki is stronger and faster than what he expected. But it didn't hit Naruto because Naruto has been training so long, he's so powerful. His body is naturally as strong as an Otsutsuki anyway. And when Sasuke sees this, Kinshiki comes down and tries to attack Naruto again, but Sasuke immediately appears and does a massive kick right at Kinshiki's face, sending him flying. And both Naruto and Sasuke stand next to each other. Kinshiki gets up and goes, "How dare you touch me, you filthy little creatures." And Naruto goes, "Huh. So you're Momoshiki Otsutsuki, and you're Kinshiki Otsutsuki. Tell me, where's Urushiki?" And Momoshiki goes, "Oh, these creatures know about us? Very well, let's entertain this. I consumed him and turned him into a chakra fruit and ate him. Naruto's like, interesting. And he goes, why is that? Naruto shows his hand, the karma seal, and goes, this is Urushiki's karma seal, placed upon me when I was a kid. And they're like, what the? And Naruto activates the karma seal, and it goes up his body, all the way up to his eyes. When Naruto opens his eyes, Rinnegan appear, and a horn grows on his head. When Momoshiki sees this, he's like, Urushiki created a karma seal, and he goes, a different Urushiki from a different timeline. He came back in time and got killed by me and my future son. Boruto looks at Naruto. Sasuke's like, huh? And Naruto's like looking at him, he's like, funny. I was looking forward to seeing him, understanding his motives, what he wanted to do. But you took that away. And so Naruto immediately summons Urushiki's weapon, the fishing rod. And Momoshiki sees this, and Kinshika's like, hello. Naruto goes, just note that you two are not leaving this planet alive. And they go, is that right? Naruto puts his hand back and swipes both of them with the fish hook, or the fishing rod. And Momoshiki was able to jump over it, but Kinshiki gets hit with it full ball, slams him through the arena. He gets sent flying out of the arena. Bear in mind, all the villagers have already been evacuated, and Gaara and them all doing the job. And as Momoshiki sees this, Naruto goes, well now, guess he's just being you. Sasuke jumps out of the village and he goes to fight Kinshiki, who jumps out of the arena. And then Momoshiki looks at Naruto and Naruto goes, now we'll see who's really stronger. Naruto Uzumaki of Earth, or Momoshiki, the leader of the Otsutsuki that invaded my planet. As Naruto stands there looking at Momoshiki beginning to power up his chakra. This is really this one, guys. I hope you guys like this. Please like and subscribe, leave your comments down below, leave the bell notification on so you guys will be the first to get my new content, and of course, take care of you guys, okay? Bear in mind, I'll do my best to try to get another video out to you guys. As I said, I'd like to apologize again for not bringing videos out. I'm just way too busy. I'm trying to get my back sorted too, okay guys? So yeah, thank you guys all for your support. And as usual guys, this is Dr. Kahu saying peace.